Good morning, everybody, and thank you for joining me in the craft room again this morning. First of all, I want to say a massive thank you to everyone that has been liking my videos and taking the time to watch them. I've been absolutely overwhelmed watching the responses, and I'm chuffed to bits that you like the card so much. Hopefully you will subscribe and continue to watch the channel, and hopefully I will be able to continue to keep you interested in card making. Now, I thought this morning I had another little card that was up on Facebook recently in some of the groups that I'm a member of, such as Clean and Simple Card Making and Clean and Simple Card Making for Beginners. Believe it or not, I'm still very much a beginner at this. I'm an even bigger beginner when it comes to the videos, so do please bear with me until I get the hang of them. Hopefully that will be relatively soon. I've invested in an overhead camera holding device and a tripod, so with a bit of luck they'll work better for us this morning. Okay, now this is a clean and simple white on white card. If I'm being honest, it's probably one of my favorites. Although I love colour, absolutely love working with colour, I think these are just so elegant and just dainty. They're just such a really pretty little card. Now this was one that I made for a competition, not a competition, goodness gracious me, a challenge. I do like to try and do the Saturday challenge, which I love, with card making. When I get my words, clean and simple card making for beginners. There we go. Words have finally arrived. Excellent. That does help when we're making a video. So there we go. This is one I made a few weeks ago, and the challenge was raindrops. So I got a really good feedback on this one. So I thought, right, we'll give it a go this morning. Fingers crossed, and we'll show you how I made it. So I'm just going to set this out of the road. There we go. What we'll need is a folder. Now, this one is called Rain Clouds by Sizzix. It's another one of their 3D folders, and it's a lovely one. I really love it because it gives you the little cloud effect and the raindrops, and there's a nice 3D element to it. Any raindrop folder will do, a 2D one will do. It's just to give us the illusion of raindrops in the background. As simple as that. So don't worry about, investing in an expensive folder. Any folder will do. Now, one of the things that we're going to need are our Gummiapan dies. These are Gummiapan. You can use whatever you like, obviously, on your card. I wanted the illusion of a little tree, branches in the background, just something to hint at gardening. And I came across this hanging vine by Gummiapan in my dies. Like I said, I'm just starting off, so I don't have an inordinate amount of dies. Having said that, I do have an inordinate amount of dies according to my husband. If it were up to me, I would have absolute drawers full of them. But he thinks I've far too many. That's just because I'm taking over the craft room stroke office, and there's a bit of a bone of contention going on there, but we'll not get into that this morning. Okay, Gummiapan dies. These are a Swedish dye company. They really do make beautiful dies. They're very intricate, and I have to admit, I love them. I absolutely love them. They do advent calendars, by the way, for those of you who are interested. I got one. I saw it on a channel. Obviously, it was the wonderful Christine Stokes, and I thought, oh, I fancy myself a little bit of that. So I did get the Gummiapan advent calendar this year past for Christmas, and it was so much fun. Every morning getting up, you open a little envelope and hey presto, you have a new surprise. I couldn't recommend it highly enough. So Gummiapan dies. I'm using my little watering can and my little hanging vine to give me the illusion of branches. So I'm just going to set those off to the side so I don't lose them, because I have pre-cut my little watering cans and I have pre-cut my hanging ivy. So we'll come, or vine, or whatever you like to call it, we'll come back to those in a minute. Now, starting off as usual with our card. This is just a side opening normal square card, and our little card base is another one that I cut with a die. Now what I am going to do is cut a little aperture out of this, just like that, simple. And I use Sizzix washi tape to cut this and stick it down. Sorry, I don't cut it with the Sizzix washi tape. I'm having a morning this morning. Let me get this straight. There we go. Whoops. I just had it nice and then I go and move it right. So we'll stick that down. I love the Sizzix washi tape for sticking my dies down to the card. It's so easy to get off, and I have yet to rip it or rip a card with it. I use my cardstock is Syntego, Syntego. You can buy Syntego directly from the supplier or manufacturer, I think, and there's a lovely linen effect in white. There we go. I'll just put these off to the side without jolting the camera too much, I hope. And there we go. We have our aperture cut so that this will sit up on our card with a little bit of foam tape, and everything else will be happening. Well, a little bit will be happening in behind it. Now let me see. Is that wide enough? That's a little offcut I have. I think that's a bit tight. Let me see. I keep all my offcuts in a little folder like this. And as you can see, there are plenty of them. But let me see if I have one that would be wide enough for my aperture that I've just... They're all the same size, aren't they? Aha! Nope. False alarm. Let's see. Oh, that looks promising. There we go. That'll do me perfectly. Now, so what I want to do is I want to have something wide enough to emboss behind it. I don't need all of this. I just need enough to give me a nice grip. So that'd be plenty, wouldn't it? We'll take that off there with our scissors or a paper trimmer if you're a tidier creature than me. But now what I do want to do with this Syntego, there is a little weave. I don't know if you can see that detail there, but it runs in a pattern, and I want to make sure that I keep the weave running the same way, because I noticed that I'd made a card the other day and I'd forgotten to do that, and it just took away. Now this is just, I'm going to spritz this because it's a 3D folder to make sure that the cardstock doesn't get damaged. Just a cheapy bottle with water in it, and I spray, waft, 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 spray, waft, waft, waft. There we go. But I'm doing it off the camera because I don't want to damage, or I don't want to spray the lens and have everybody. Now where do we say it? I'm just going to, yep, that's my deboss and that's my emboss. So I want it to go in that way round, and I want to get plenty of raindrops on it. So that looks pretty much perfect. Now the sandwich for a 3D folder is remove everything and just have your standard platform with your Sizzix die cutting and your top plate. Whoops, do it the right way up. Now I honestly don't know what it is for your, you know, if you have a spellbinders or something else. They're all different. But just have a play. It won't go through, you know. Gosh, that was handy. It came out and met me there. If it won't go through, it won't go through. And if it goes through without any, what's the word? You'll feel it grip, you'll hear it grip. Now, there we go. I have missed a bit here, but that's fine. I'm not worried about that because that will be covered by, where do I want that? That's pretty much perfect actually there. Well, that'll be fine too. Right, now, so that's our card cut. What I want to do is I want to mark ever so slightly on this. Wait a minute, I see. I want to get as many raindrops as I can. Now, that's going to be it there. Perfect. What I'm going to do is I just want to mark ever so slightly on the card where the frame is. So that whenever I place my branches, I'll know where I'm hanging down to. Now I have went ahead and started cutting my little Gummiapan hanging vine, ivy, branch, tree, whatever you like to call it. Now what I want to do is, I think this is my hanging down bit. So I think this is a little bit that's going to be coming down like that. Hoopsie daisy. There we go. And this is a little bit that's going to be going across. Isn't that right? Have I got that right? Yeah, I think this is my little bit that's going to go across. Yeah, it is. Now, I don't need all of this. So I'm just going to very, very gently snip a bit off. That's it. There we go. Because I want this to sort of come down the page a bit, but I don't want it looking, as we would say in this part of the world, a plaster. There we go. Now let's have a quick look with the frame. Oh, that's pretty, isn't it? Right. Well, I'm going to go ahead and stick this down. So what I'm going to do is, where's my glue? I have 2 glues for doing fine work like this. I have a Nuvo Smooth Precision pen, which is fabulous, and I have a Zig 2-way glue. Now, I'm going to assume if you're only getting into card making like me that you don't have those. So a really good way of doing a fine piece like this. Can you see? Yep, I've still got you in the camera. Now, wait a minute, because I've pre-used this sponge. Now, this is just, as you can see, a bit of a dishwashing sponge or scrubby. I cut it down as fine as I can and let it get plenty of glue on it, like that, and then just dab it on. And that way, you don't have to get glue everywhere. Sorry, that went off camera there, did it? Now let me position this in the right spot. There we go. Perfect. And now our other little bit is going to go across the ways, sort of hanging down just like a branch would. And it's the same process. Dab, 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 dab. And you don't have to cover the whole front or get glue everywhere or have special pens or anything else. There we go. That should be us. I just set this out of the way and clean up before we get that stuck all over the card. Now that glue that I used this morning is just a Tombow Mono liquid glue. It's clear drying. It's a fabulous little glue actually, because we have the wide nozzle at one end, which I have to be honest, I've never actually used. And then obviously we have the fine tip at the other. Now, I have an array of glues and I use different ones for different things. I probably don't need as many as I have, but it's just that I've acquired them over a period of time. So I'm using them up. Now, here we go. Here's hoping everything looks well. Oh, would you look at that? That's so pretty. Now I'm just going to take my pencil marks off. Let me see. Where's the rubber or eraser, as I think you refer to it in America and Canada. Now, I always check on a piece of card that it's not dirty before I actually rub the marks out. There we go. And there's one there. There we go. I don't think I'll see that one anyway. Oh, isn't that lovely? Now, you may be able to see that some of my leaves are sticking up. You don't have to have them sticking up. It's just that I haven't forced that down. But I kind of like it when a few of them sit up proud. I think it gives it just a wee bit more interest. So I wouldn't fuss about sticking them all down. So that's our background ready. Now all we have to do is put on... Have I got that running the right way again? Yep, that's it there. All I want to do now is put a little bit of foam tape on and get that ready. And then that's that section of our card done. But before I do that, let me get rid of this bit of sponge. Sorry about that. Now before that, what I'm going to do is my little focal point at the front, which is our watering can. And I want to give my watering can a bit of dimension. So I'm going to make it look... I'm going to stack these, and what I want to do is I want to make the handle of the watering can look like it's further away and the spout to look like it's closer to us. Now, I have to remember to keep working up at this part of the board so that you can see what I'm doing. So hopefully I'll keep it all in shot for you. Aren't I getting very professional talking about shot? Now, there we go. Let's see. I've cut too much off that. All right. Well, that's not to worry because we only need the spout. Now, on the Gummiapan die, you can see that there's little marks and kinks where you can cut. So, snip, 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 and snip. That's better. Good job. Now, I'm going to stack that on there. This time with my dies, I use a Nuvo Deluxe Adhesive Clear Drying Craft Glue. I love this glue. If I was only going to buy one glue, it would be this Nuvo. I highly recommend it. Tonic Studios do it. And they have an offer on at the moment. You can get, I think, is it 5 of them? I can't remember. It's a quantity anyway, a sort of a bulk buy deal, and it is wonderful. And if you come across it, do get it. It's well worth it. You won't be disappointed. It's a terrific glue, and the glue comes out of that really fine tip, without gushing everywhere. It's a lovely glue, I must admit, and it's a good tacky glue as well for doing gold foiling and things like that. So now, as you can, a good idea if I stuck that on. That's better. It wasn't straight. I do apologise. Now, less haste, more speed, can you? Okay, now I'm just going to take off ever so gently the little spout. There we go. Hopefully you can see. Okay. And this last little bit is the trickiest bit to snip off. There we go. Wonderful. And now I have a completely mangled piece to throw away there, and I have my little piece to go on here. And you see already how we've given our watering can so much more dimension, and you really wouldn't need to do an awful lot more than that. But I'm a Christine Stokes fan, as you all know by now, I'm sure. And we won't leave it there. Now, do forgive me because I suffer from an involuntary tremor, which is commonly referred to as a shaky hand. So if you see me trembling, I promise you it's not nerves, but it is. It is just an involuntary tremor. So don't fear. Now I'm just giving the board a quick tidy up and clean, because the last thing I want is bits of glue all over the back of the card or dies. Now, this is a little trick that I have picked up from our friend Christine, and it's given dimension to your dies. This is a little toolbox that I purchased off eBay. It wasn't expensive. It has quilling tools in it, and you could use these for scoring, I'm sure, but what I use them for is giving my dies that little bit of dimension. Just give it a little rub on the back, nothing too extravagant, and you can see already, look at that. You just give it a little bit more in the middle there with the smaller. Look at that, isn't that fabulous? It's already sitting proud from the table in the middle. Whoops, right, pop those over there. Now what I'll do is put a bit of foam tape in underneath that, but not just yet, and there's a reason for that. Okay, that's us. We are ready to assemble our card. Now, I'm using foam tape. I have found that the Stix 2 tape, that's STIX, and then the Digit 2 is a wonderful tape. This one that I'm using is 10 mil, so that's 10 mil wide by 1 mil thick, and you get 50 meters on these gigantic rolls. And trust me, you do go through it at a rate of knots. Well, I do anyway. So what I want to do is trim this quite close to the edge. I'm not using my good scissors for this. I'm just using my regular scissors. I don't want to damage my fine scissors that I use for cutting dies. Okay. There we go. Keep it nice and close to the edge. Right. Now we'll come back and do a bit more in a minute. This is actually quite wide, so now peel off. Simple. Hopefully I'm not overrunning too. Not 22 minutes I'm at. I'm not doing too bad this morning. There we go. I'm getting better at this, I think. Hopefully I'm videoing. Yep, I am. Well, obviously I am if I'm at 22 minutes. Now, good tip. Any stick glue will do. It doesn't have to be Prit. Any cheap stick glue will do. Just go over your tape so that whenever you place it down on your card, you will be able to reposition it without too much trouble. Now, where do I want this? Just about there was perfect. Now, that's where my pencil lines have come in handy, because I was able to see where I was going. Lovely jubbly. Now, where I haven't got the foam, I'm just going to fit that in. I could cut it and fuss about, but I don't need to, because I have the 5 mil Stix 2 as well. Where's the end of it? There it is. All right. Complete with hair attached. Wonderful. And I can use it, do you see, into those tiny wee places. I bought this by accident, believe it or not, because they didn't have the 10 mil in stock when I bought this. I get this from a company called Cardstock. Now, there we go. Lovely. They didn't have any 10 mil, and me being the slapdash person that I am online, I saw the roll, thought, aha, there it is, clicked on it, and it wasn't until it arrived that I realized it was only 5 mil. Now, what I'm going to do is just run a little bit of glue along here to stick the rest of this down. That's it. And I just used the ordinary Tombow. Excuse me a second, I've got glue all over my finger and I don't want to get that all over my card. Still over my finger. Sorry about that. There we go. Take these off because we're ready to mount it. And then all we have to do is put on our little watering can and our sentiment, and that's it. There we go. That's it. Same trick. Go around the whole of your tape with the Pritt stick or any glue stick. It just stops it from getting patches on the card and means it, what have I done? I'm upside down. That you can reposition as you need to. Now, let's get this straight. I do tend to eyeball. Now, I'm lucky I have a reasonably straight eye on my head, but you could use a ruler like this to make sure that you're spot on. So that's us. Now, we've already got a lovely little bit of dimension there, do you see? And it looks like our little garden is in behind. Where did I put my foam tape? There we go. Now, what I want to do is I want to put my watering can here. But obviously, this is further back than my frame. I do apologise. I've glue everywhere. Sticky. Right, so I need to put a little bit of foam tape in this side. Let's see now. Cut that there. Now, come on, let's go. Put you there. And that means that whenever I position my watering can, it'll not buckle, you know, in underneath, right? And I also want to put a little bit of foam tape around here to keep that nice dimension that we worked with our tool to get. And another small piece here, I think. Actually, no, I'm going to leave that. I don't want. Now, I'm going to use my glue. Oh, can you see that? Sorry, am I working off camera? Useless. There we go. Now. So I have to remember to keep looking where I'm working. It's hard to do that, actually. Now, bear with me a wee second. There's my sponge. Now, I'm just going to use another part of my sponge to make sure, just to dab any glue there that I felt was too splodgy or thick. I'm nervous about getting it all over the die itself. We do not want to do that now. What did I forget to do? Pritt stick. There we go. Perfect. Now, let's position this little rascal. So there's my bit of foam tape there. Oh, isn't that lovely? Look at that. Isn't that just too cute? Nothing like praising your homework. Right, now all I need to do is put a little sentiment on. I actually am going to position a wee, something like this, get well soon, because I have a friend that had a fall recently. Oopsie daisy. Come on. There we go. She had dear lover, she had a fall down a flight of stairs and hurt her leg. So this is going to be for her. Now what I've done is I've stacked these. They're really quite fine. So you could stack 3 or however many you want. I'm only going to do 2 just because they're so fine. Now I'm using a little Zig pen, 2-way glue for applying this. Like I said, I have an array of glues. You could use the other technique that I used earlier on for the hanging ivy or tree branches. Would work every bit as well. You don't need to go to the expense of buying more glues. I'm just rushing so that my video is not 3/4 of an hour long or something. Right, mop that up again. And there we are. I'll not stick that down. I'll do that later off camera. But there you go. There's a really pretty, effective, simple, elegant get well soon card. You could put anything with this. It could work as a with sympathy card. It could work as a birthday card. It's entirely up to you. And that's it. Just want to position that. I have to make sure I space those properly. Okay, thank you so much for watching. Please, if you don't mind, give us a thumbs up. It always helps, and I would be delighted if you would subscribe to the channel. That way you don't miss any of the videos that are going to be coming up. Okay, thank you so much for joining me and spending that little bit of time with me today. I truly appreciate it, and I genuinely appreciate all the comments that you leave. They mean a very great deal to me and give me the inspiration to keep going. So thank you. Take care and have a lovely day. Bye-bye.